A very good evening to all, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Today is 20th November 2025, Thursday class. So we'll be continuing our sharing from this book, the Heart Sutra, second edition, by me. Okay, as usual, we will have our pre-puja. 南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛。南无弥勒佛，南无弥勒佛，南无弥勒佛，南无药师佛，南无药师佛，南无药师佛，南无准提菩萨，南无准提菩萨，南无准提菩萨，南无文殊菩萨，南无文殊菩萨。南无文殊菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨。อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวะพุทธังภะคะวันตังอะภิวาเทมิสุขโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมมัสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามินะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิพุทธังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิพุทธังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิปานาติปาตาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิอาทินาดานาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิกาเมสุมิจฉาจาระเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิมุสาวาทาเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิสุราเมรยามัจจาปมาทัฏฐานะเวรมณีสิกขาปดังสมาธิยามิสาธุสาธุสาธุ Okay, let us pay respect to Pajam. Buddhang pujemi. Dhammang pujemi. Sanghang Puja. So develop this awareness-based meditation. It is a very important training, especially for those who are new. For those who have already trained, develop it quite well, you can move on to the fourth support, which is trust. That phase of training the mind is very unique and very special, because in the fourth stage, or following the fourth support, we no longer allow the mind to be active. The mundane mind, the thinking mind, is more or less completely quiet and still. There is no thought involved. It is just the pure awareness nature with the stability of sati, developing the meditative movement. So that phase is most beautiful. And for people who can move to that stage, means they are real cultivator of the way. And most of these people, for them to move that direction, they must have passed parami. They must have cleared the sainthood way. Otherwise they can't. And that way is only needed if you decide to do the Bodhisattva way of cultivation leading to Sammasambuddhahood. Otherwise, the first three support, which is relax, maintaining awareness, stabilizing the awareness, is enough. And we do it in the form of meditation, is to stabilize the inner awareness, because it is in the form of meditation that you can develop the stability of it. Then when you are out of the form of meditation, you must continue to maintain that pace of meditative training leading to stability of daily mindfulness. Means within life itself, you must have the ability to be ever mindful, constantly meditative. Means the mindfulness must stabilize until your mind more or less enters sati. When your mind enters sati, everything you do is in sati. That's why that training is most important. And without this stability of inner mindfulness, you cannot develop heedfulness. To be heedful, you have to be ever mindful and use it to meditate. That's why the second part is constantly meditative. And the meaning is very deep. Constantly meditative means constantly developing the inner awareness or mindfulness, to see things as they are, to insight into phenomena, and to awaken, and to develop the clear understanding of the Dhamma. Okay, with that, I will set the alarm for 30 minutes so that you all can proceed to train your mind. For those who have already trained, you can straight away silence everything and stay at the heart area and develop the fourth support, which is trust. T-R-U-S-T. Trust your true mind, your silent mind, to develop the meditative movement, to locate the gateway to your nature, to transform from there. Okay, you all can slowly, mindfully come out of the meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness of mind, inner tranquility and stillness. You can be in the state of awareness without thought. That is the meditative mind. That is the most wonderful state to be in throughout the day. Okay. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in the entirety, let the deities and Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakavalisu Atra Kacantu Devata Saddhamang Munirajasa Sunantu Sakamokadang Dhamma Sharing Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Sharing Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Sharing Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Iti peso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vijacharana Sampanno Sugato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisa Dhammasarti Satta Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Swagato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipaseko Opanayiko Pachatang Veditabo Vinohiti Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Nyaya Patipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Samici Patipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Yadidang Chattari Purisa Yukani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakineyo Anjali Karaneyo Anuttarang Punyang Ketang Lokasati Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Okay, now we will continue from where we stop. Page 183 of our Heart Sutra, second edition, part 1. Recapitulation and emphasize on the previous lesson. So section 1.1. So this one, at that time, I think the sharing requested for the understanding of how all these teachings and sharing comes about. So here I repeated them. These are for the benefit of people who are new. Understanding the three conditions for Brother Theo's Dhamma Sharing. Like I used to explain to people how all these causes and conditions comes about. Initially, during the early years of my cultivation, I just developed them naturally because of past condition and affinity with Triple Gem. Then in the year 1986, I think, where major causes and conditions arise, especially in 1986, when Kuan Yin Bodhisattva's nature came and gave specific instruction for my nature to move. He said, you have to move fast, not much time left. And from the vase she was holding, she opened up my palms. Then in a straight line, he poured the Triple Gem, Buddha Dhamma Sangha, on my hand and held my hand and said, you have to move fast, not much time left. That was the moment my nature knew the message was very clear and very important. And from the way she dressed and manifest, and the moment I saw the vase she was holding to pour out the Triple Gem, I knew it was Kuan Yin. That's why gratitude arises, faith developed. Then I paid my respect and thanked Kuan Yin's nature. Then it's as if I knew from the past. I have requested the same thing, life after life, for many segments of my nature's coming. Seek her blessings, protection and guidance. That's why after that, I vow to cultivate continuously, non-stop. Means as long as I'm awake, or not sleeping or resting, during the waking moment of my hours, my nature determined to cultivate. So that's how it all started. Then strangely, immediately after that, the book come, the guide come, the teacher come, everything that I need just arise. And during that 3 years, 87, 88, 89, I received all those things that I need. And I met those teacher and guide that I need to meet. Then everything else is history. But then, strangely, after that, because my nature realized what I have come to realize in the year 1989, early 1989, was so profound and so different from what was taught within the Buddhist community. That's why I just let things be. There was no real thought of sharing or teaching. Then I just let things be. Whoever has affinity condition, if they truly have the sincerity to learn, then I will teach, I will share. But then nothing happened for the next 15 years. Until the year 2004, I remember. That year Yun Chan came, and through causes and conditions, of course, we met, and the encounter bring forth the causes and conditions. And she sincerely requested me to come out and share this true teaching of Dhamma with the world. She used to tell me that after meeting me a few sessions, every session was almost 3 hours. He said, Brother, your Dhamma is so good. Why not you come out and share this Dhamma with the world? And for 3 occasions, I actually say, no need, don't worry. When the time comes, things will happen. So technically, for 3 occasions, I said no. Then I just say, just let things be. Then after the 3rd occasion, that night, I felt something within my nature telling me, hey, it's about time you come out and share. Because causes and conditions has arisen. Then I tell myself, my more concern was not about to share or not to share. Where I knew this understanding, when I share, it can be very dangerous for those who don't understand and have negative karmic tendency to say the wrong thing or to comment it in a very negative manner. And because of that, I restrain from sharing or arising. But then within tell me, you set the condition. That's how I came out with these 3 conditions to avoid unnecessary karmic consequences. Then now I read to you, you will understand. My intent was very sincere at that time, 2004. In order not to arise any unnecessary misunderstanding or karmic consequences, Bratio had been reluctant to share his Dhamma understanding until about 9 years ago. This one is when the time I teach the Heart Sutra actually at Wu Ping Jing Se. So it was 2015 where I started the teaching of the Heart Sutra at the request of Sister Lee. And that time I remember, it was meant to be. Then when all this fall into place, I think this is lesson 37 towards the end of my sharing. But most of the thing that I need to share on the Theravada traditions, essential Dhamma and teaching, I have already shared. That's why I decided to share this, because there were causes and conditions for this understanding to arise. So now I will read again. In order not to arise any misunderstanding, unnecessary misunderstanding or karmic consequence, Bratio had been reluctant to share his Dhamma understanding until about 9 years ago, which is 2004, when he was approached 3 times by a sincere sister of the Dhamma. This is Sister Yuen Chan, asking me to share this to share my rather good understanding of the Dhamma. Bratio then contemplated and finally agreed to share the Dhamma, but with the following 3 conditions. First condition, call it a Dhamma Sharing session instead of a one-way traffic Dhamma talk, because a talk could be like a one-way traffic, not offering any chance of having a fair discussion to clarify matters from the audience. Also, sharing means no authority over one another, and as Dhamma friend, we are here to share our understanding of the Dhamma with mutual respect for each other's cultivation and understanding. That is, I respect you for what you are, and hopefully you can also respect me for what I am. So this not imposing authority on somebody is very important. That's why J. Krishnamurti have the understanding. He said, truth is a pathless land. There must be no authority for anybody, because truth is truth. Authority means when you say you are somebody who have the understanding, and especially they call themselves your teacher, without you knowing it, you may be caught in the authority set by society's convention. Because when you believe he is your teacher, means he knows better. He has better understanding and cultivation than you. So whatever he say could be an authority on you. And that limits understanding. When there is authority, then it's very difficult to develop a free mind that can listen attentively to develop the understanding of what is being shared or what is being communicated. So all this is the reason why the first condition I said is call it a Dhamma Sharing. Then I also came out with a Kayana mentorship. Means the concept of Kaya mentorship is very important. It was established by Sakyamuni Buddha in his early days when he set out to teach. And Kayamita means Dhamma friends. We are spiritual Dhamma friends, friends that walk the path of Dhamma together. And there are two types of Kayamitas, or the Kayamita entity. The most common one is just the normal Dhamma friends, who sincerely, with faith, walk the path of Dhamma. And this one is more common and more started with that type of entity. Then as you cultivate, you develop understanding through understanding the teaching. Then through cultivating the first, second and third turning of the Four Noble Truths, to realize the three types of wisdom as taught by the Buddha: Suttamaya Panya, Chintamaya Panya, and Bhavanamaya Panya. Means first turning wisdom, born of hearing the Sutta, that's why it's called Suttamaya Panya. Then second turning wisdom, after you have heard the Dhamma, you can reflect on it, contemplate into it, and inquire deep into it to stabilize the understanding further, thereby arising the second turning wisdom, which most of us call it the contemplative wisdom. And this one is called Chintamaya Panya. Then after that, you put it into formal cultivation or formal meditative training via heedfulness, via the mind, having developed stable mindfulness until it becomes very stable, until mind enters sati, and that's called ever mindful. Then you use that mind that has been trained to be ever mindful to cultivate, thereby developing constantly meditative mind. So as per Dhammapada verse 21, 22, 23, especially verse 23, which defines clearly what apamada or heedfulness is, the Buddha said the constantly meditative, ever mindful and steadfast one, they will realize the supreme enlightenment, nibbana, in the here and the now. And this is very important. Then Dhammapada verse 21 say, heedfulness is the path to the deathless. The heedful never die. Whereas if you are not trained in heedfulness, you become heedless. Heedlessness is the path to the dead. The heedless are as if dead. Means if you are heedless, if you do not train your mind to be heedful, then there is no possibility of you receiving this Dhamma and develop this understanding or awakening. Means spiritually, you don't stand a chance to become enlightened, to be awakened. So that's the reason why spiritual understanding is very important. Heedfulness is very important. So heedfulness will lead to the awakening. Then the first thing you have to do is listening to the true Dhamma to establish the understanding of the teaching. Then put it into practice. Yeah. Before that, you can contemplate, reflect, inquire, and develop the first and second turning wisdom. Then the meditative training, which is the third turning, it becomes bhavana, maya, panya. The meditative wisdom that arises from formal meditative training or cultivation. The Buddha called it bhavana. So the first condition is to establish that, so that there can be occasion for Dhamma sharing without authority. A very conducive, free-flow sharing with mutual respect for each other's understanding and cultivation, then able to avoid unnecessary misunderstanding or karmic consequence. Because when we share sincerely with the faith and understanding and mutual respect, there is no negativity. We are not trying to be right or wrong. We are not trying to point finger. Then the second condition will make it even more conducive. I read on. The second condition is, I said, there is no right and no wrong. It is more important. If you find the sharing beneficial to you, use it. If it's not, then have an open mind. Because we are not here to argue about right or wrong. Right and wrong is just a relative measurement or opinion as expressed by someone according to their views and opinion, and it's not something absolute. Means it's a conventional reality, not an absolute reality or absolute truth. That's why for those who have the wisdom and the understanding, especially J. Krishnamurti, and those who have awakened, truth is, like the Buddha, he knew, suchness, tathata. Truth is the isness of thing. Like the Buddha said, thing is just the way it is, the isness of thing. If you understand that, then there is no duality of right and wrong. Because right and wrong is about the individual. Right according to who? And there is not an absolute truth. But whatever is the truth can be realized by the wise, each for themselves. That is what the Dhamma is. So truth is, not your truth or my truth. These are our individuals' relative convention. Truth according to what we believe or what we think it is. Whereas when you understand truth is, means the reality, like the Buddha explained, thing is just the way it is. Condition like that, things will be like that. It cannot be otherwise. When the causes and conditions are set, within the moment. The movement that arises is what is at that moment. That's why the Buddha said, whatever arises, there are causes and conditions behind, because it's already established. It can never be otherwise. So if you want things your way, which is not accordance with nature's condition and law, then you suffer, which means you cannot get what you want, because the one that prevails is the nature's condition and nature's law that governs life and existence. So when you understand this, you can be at peace with every moment of arising within the existent world's condition. So whatever happened to the individual or to us in life, you have to come to terms with their reality through right view, to accept them for what they are. Just like the Buddha's understanding, things is just the way it is. It cannot be otherwise. Conditions like that, things feel like that, whatever that arises, there are causes and conditions behind. And these causes and conditions behind is already explained by him under the 5 daily contemplation that he has given us, especially the last, the 5th contemplation. According to Lord Buddha, he said, we are all born of our karma, heir to our karma, conditioned and supported by our karma. We are what we are because of our karma. So that is the controlling factor, the reality, which means everything that arises within life itself, existence, has something to do with your karma. Which means you have to accept that reality, then with that understanding, try to resolve things amicably, through wisdom, through understanding, following the Dhamma way, which is the Noble Eightfold Path, the 4th Noble Truth that the Buddha proclaimed. There is this Noble Eightfold Path, the Buddha said, if you cultivate it, it will lead to the end of all suffering. And our purpose in life is to develop the wisdom to end suffering, so that we need not suffer anymore, so that suffering need not be. Enlightenment in the here and the now is possible. So this understanding is very important, where we can accept things as they are, where we can come to terms with whatever arises within the moment. Then we are at peace all the time. Then only we act. That is the way to live life. That is the way to resolve all problems in life. So when we can accept, it means our mind does not stir or react to what happened. Because that acceptance is right view, wisdom. Understanding that this is due to nature's law that governs life and existence. Then whatever happened to the individual, it has a lot to do with your karma. Because we are all born of it, heir to it, conditioned and supported by it. Every moment, every instant. We are what we are because of it. So what else can be the controlling factor? Is definitely karmic. Then if you know that, with that acceptance, you don't get angry, you don't get fearful, you don't react with negativity of mind state. You don't become unhappy, jealous, envy, violent. All this is to be. And when there is such understanding, then the mind does not create the evil roots of greed, hatred and delusion to counter what happened and to want things our way, which is not in accordance with nature's condition. So all this understanding is very important, very beautiful, That's why don't try to express your views and opinion too fast, because without understanding of the Dhamma, which is very profound, we tend to react and stir our mind through our own views, opinion and conditioning, especially our belief systems, etc. Then the third condition is also very important. The third condition is, I told Yun Chan, if you agree to these three conditions, then I come out and teach. Otherwise, it can give rise to unnecessary karmic entanglement or consequences. And that was my only concern. That's why, out of love and compassion for living beings, I introduced these three conditions. And the third one is very important. When you listen to this Dhamma sharing, you must have an open mind to listen attentively and to take in or make use of whatever that is useful and beneficial to progress along the path of Dhamma. Also, do not quote me, that part, very important, because it can be very dangerous. If you quote me, means you quote exactly what I say without understanding. It can get both of us into unnecessary problem. Because without understanding means you don't understand what I meant. And when you don't understand what I meant, you quote me out of context, you see. Yeah, most of the time, the student or the disciple, they are too eager to quote their teacher or master. Then sometimes you think I have better or higher authority. Then you say, no lah, Brother Teo didn't say this lah. Brother Teo say this. But you cannot understand the word. Especially the one that I used to share with people last time. Where I heard in the early days, nowadays no more. The Kayamita who are new, after listening, they will go and tell the other Kayamita, no lah, Brother Teo didn't say this. Brother Teo said, let things be, you keep both for what? The meaning is so deep, let things be means according to the Buddha's understanding of suchness, the isness of things. That's why let things be doesn't mean you don't act. That's not. Let things be means you would have the right view to accept that reality first. Then when you don't react and stir your mind, when you can accept through understanding, means able to accept things for what they are, means having the wisdom. That's why having the wisdom to accept things as they are is very important. And this is what is meant by acceptance brings about freedom. Means what? When you can accept the reality for what it is and know that it is very likely, almost 99.99%, has to do with your karma. So the acceptance prevents us from creating negativity of mind state. Means we will not react and stir our mind to what happened. Most of the time, every moment of sense perception, seeing, hearing, smell, taste, tactile or thought, we arise the duality of like and dislike, pleasant and unpleasant sense experience. And these are basically the evil roots of greed and hatred. That's why the duality. And these are the source of what we call mental hindrance that will hinder your mind from entering the meditative state of inner peace, inner calmness and inner awareness. That's why you cannot meditate, you cannot develop the meditative mind. So this understanding is very important, because like and dislike are sensual desire and ill will, the first two mental hindrance. And what are mental hindrance? Mind state that hinders your mind from entering the meditative state of inner peace. inner calmness and inner awareness. And with that happening all the time, that's why it develops habitual tendency. And this habitual tendency will prevent you from developing the meditative understanding, but it will make you heedless. It will create more evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion. Where these are evil roots. That's why it prevents you from developing the awareness within, the meditative awareness, which is mindfulness. So this understanding is very important. So if you quote me wrongly, means you don't understand. When I say let things be, means at that moment, yes. Then from there, you have clarity of mind. Yeah, your mind does not stir and react, means there is no anger, there is no fear, there is no envy, jealousy, and unhappiness within. There is no phobia, insecurity, or whatever. Your mind is tranquil, peaceful, with clarity. Then you can contemplate and reflect what actually happened. Then move on to the second inquiry. How can I resolve all this amicably so that there is no negativity or coming to anybody? And this understanding is very important. That's why you cannot simply quote me without understanding. Then after that, you inquire again, how can I resolve all this amicably? How can I act without negativity? The fourth noble truth, like I explained just now. That's why you must cultivate the noble eightfold path as proclaimed by the Buddha within the Four Noble Truths. You cultivate this noble eightfold path under the fourth noble truth. It will lead to the end of all suffering. Why? Because this noble eightfold path, there are 8 path factors which are very noble, which can make you a noble one. You are very noble in your understanding of life. It means you have right view, right understanding with regards to the nature's law that governs life and existence. Especially the Pancha Niyamas, the 3 spiritual laws within the Pancha Niyama, Kama Niyama, Chitta Niyama, and Dhamma Niyama, which I explained before. Then when you have this right view, then you can be at peace. You can develop the acceptance of what happened. Then you do what you have to do to overcome all this unnecessary misunderstanding or karmic consequence amicably. So through right view, you develop the acceptance, have clarity of mind, then you contemplate, then you apply Noble Eightfold Path to resolve all this amicably. That's why you have to train yourself to have noble thoughts, noble speeches, and very noble action, and the way you live your life also, noble livelihood. All this can help you. Then you apply the 4 right effort to constantly purify through avoiding all evil, doing good, wholesomeness. The first 2 advice of all Sama Sambuddha. Then meditate to purify your mind. So all these are within the Noble Eightfold Path factor. And to meditate you need sati. That's why there is Samasati and Samasamadhi. So this Noble Eightfold Path factor, if you cultivate them, it become a part of you. You have the embodiment of them. And with that, only you can become enlightened beings who are noble ones. They are noble in every aspect of life. Not only noble understanding, they are very noble in the way they communicate, act, and speak, and also arise their thought and the way they live their life. And they are very noble in the way they cultivate. That's why they have the four right effort, constantly helping them to purify. Then they train to be ever mindful, constantly meditative, using samasati and samasabadi. And that's how you develop understanding. Okay, so with that, I move on. So I continue by sharing this. I say, just say, because sometimes you have to answer what people tell you, or when they ask you, hey, where you learn all this Dhamma or what, and most Kayamita are very excited, they don't know how to start. Sometimes they are too eager to quote my name, but sometimes they are too shy to quote my name, because at that time I was not well known, not famous. Give me a minute, I have to answer a call my brother called me. Where was I? I was trying to explain something. Can somebody help?
Brother
Yeah. What was it?
刚才你在学着说，有人问你去哪里学的。
对对对 ，Thank you, Alicia, thank you. Yeah. So when people ask them, they tend to have this problem. Well, that time I just came out. I am just a lay person. So at times, Kayamita also felt like if they quote me, not much use. Well, I'm just a lay person, not well known at that time. Hardly anybody know me. But then, after many years of sharing, many years of feedback, but very lucky, luckily I set the 3 conditions. So far so good, nothing happened, and they are able to cope. Then I actually teach them how to reply, go back to the notes. So this part, you remember that it will help you. It will help you avoid unnecessary argument and misunderstanding. And they will find it very amusing. Then they will come to the class. Then most of the time when they come to the class, they tend to have a tendency to stay. Somehow it impacted them. And they receive this understanding. So you just tell them, just say, Brother Theo share with us his understanding of the Dhamma, which we have come to appreciate a lot, because the Dhamma, which is very difficult and very profound, can be made so simple and taught to us with such clarity that we can so easily relate to it in our daily life. As always pointed out by Brother Theo, according to Brother Theo, life itself is a meditation, and life itself is where the Dhamma is. And life itself is our greatest teacher. Truth is everywhere in the midst of life and nature. So why can't you see? For those who see, they always see. So this is a very good summary. Because truth means what? Whatever that can explain the way things are is the truth. And the universal characteristic is everywhere in the midst of life and nature, where every phenomenon exhibits that characteristic. That's why it's called a universal characteristics. The 3 universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha, and anatta. If you see them, awaken to them, you straight away become enlightened being, at least a sotapan. You will break free from sakkaya-ditthi, and it's not difficult. It's very easy actually. Well, when you see the truth of impermanence, then you will awaken. Why is it impermanent? Because we live in a conditioned world where everything arises and manifests based on causes and conditions, like the Buddha said. Whatever arises, there are causes and conditions behind. Because we live in a conditioned world. And when conditions arise, things arise. When conditions continue to manifest and sustain, itself, the phenomena continue to exist. Of course, it evolves. But when condition that manifest is arising and sustenance cease to be, then that phenomena cease to be. What does it give rise to when you listen to this? Just like Venerable Asaji, when he explained to Venerable Sariputta, he just said, my teacher say, whatever arises, there are causes and conditions behind. And these causes and conditions, my teacher has explained. And straight away, Venerable Sariputta become a Sotapan. How is it possible? He was not in the so-called formal meditation or formal meditative state. He was just listening attentively with the faith, where he saw Venerable Asaji so serene, so composed, so mindful and aware. And he knew this monk is well practiced. So he asked, may I know who's your teacher and what does he teach? And because of that, through the 2 stanzas, he awakened. And that is possible because that is understanding our conditioned world's manifestation. Means, like the Dhamma Sharing, the 4th stanza, 一切有为法，如梦幻泡影，如露亦如电，应作如是观。It's so beautiful, so profound. The moment you understand it, you awaken. You develop the realization, at least you break free from sakayaditi, self-delusion. Why? And now you listen attentively. 一切有为法 means everything within the conditioned world, they are conditioned Dhamma. Like the Buddha said, whatever arises, there are causes and conditions behind. Conditioned Dhamma means all this arising of the Dhamma or phenomena, they are dependent originating, condition arising, cause of phenomena. It's not a permanent unchanging entity. Without causes and conditions, nothing arises, nothing manifests. That's why you don't need a creator to create anything. Wherever there is causes and conditions, things arise, things manifest. Because from our true mind, the pure awareness nature, all conscious phenomena and entity manifest. May it be physical, mental, or nature's phenomena. They all manifest from there. That's why from nothing, there can be something. And all this arising and passing away is the characteristics of our phenomena world. So, the Dhamma Sutta first stanza is very powerful. Everything within the conditioned world are conditioned Dhamma, which are dependent originating condition, right? Which means you penetrate impermanence. Everything is mind-made, dependent originating. Means it's not a permanent unchanging entity that you can cling onto, grasp onto, hold onto and say, this is me, this is I. Therefore all these are mine. There is no such thing. So you break free from sakayaditi. Then the second stanza is more beautiful. 如梦幻泡影. Mong is dream. So he said they are dreamlike, illusionary, 幻想, illusionary. Then like a bubble, pop, gone. Within the moment, arise and pass away, pop, gone. Yeah. Then they are like shadow. Yeah. When there is condition, the shadow will follow you. So when you see all this very clearly, then you will come to realize the unreality of the phenomenal world of consciousness and form. So, 一切有为法，如梦幻泡影，如露亦如电. The third stanza is more powerful, is it? It's like a morning dew Lu is dew, Lu. Ilu Tian, and a lightning flash. That statement is very powerful. Lightning flash means split second is gone. Like a lightning flash, very fast. Means all these phenomena, they are like a morning dew. Sooner or later, when the sun rises, when condition is there, it will cease to be. And most of them are appearing and disappearing very fast, like a lightning flash. You don't have the mindfulness and the heedfulness to see them. You cannot awaken to them. That's why the cultivation is, your mindfulness must be very stable until you can see it. The moment of its arising, sustain and then passing away, then only you can insight into phenomena to awaken. Otherwise you can't. Your mindfulness is not stable enough. You can't. You cannot awaken. And this is very, very important. Then the last stanza is, 应作如是观. You should contemplate it such. Means every moment of living and life, every phenomena, you should contemplate this fourth stanza, the Dhamma Sutta. That's why the Dhamma Sutta is very powerful. Huining, the moment he heard that stanza inside the Dhamma Sutta, the mind must have no dwelling. He came to great awakening. Where his mind was without the mundane mind. And it doesn't dwell. That's why he understands. Whereas those who recite the sutta, read the sutta, they still cannot penetrate. And this is the reason why. So Dhamma is about heedfulness, daily mindfulness, the stability of it. Once you establish that, you become beautiful. Okay, I think we better end. I need more time for the sharing. Okay, we mark this part. Okay, now second session. We will continue our second session, which is meditation reporting, followed by whatever question you may have. Today's topic is very interesting. Anybody wants to come in and maybe ask any question or add on to the sharing?
Brother Teo, can I say something?
Can, yes.
Okay, Brother Teo. Your Sunday's talk for the lunch. I have been hearing that talk for a few times.
Wow, sadhu. Very good.
It really makes an impact on me, Brother Teo.
Yeah, it is very clear. You listen to it attentively. And today one add on to a lot of those explanation why I set the 3 conditions before I came out to teach. And it has been working well for the last 21 years. I don't have any incident of Kayamita misquoting me and all those things. Yeah, you continue. Yeah.
Yesterday was the second time I was hearing. Actually, it was the third time I was hearing it.
Wow,
and I was doing my ironing and all that. Then I always say that there's one sentence that make the most impact on me, Brother Teo.
Yeah.
When Venerable Asaji talked to Sariputta.
Venerable Sariputta, yeah.
Yeah, Brother Teo. My heart is stirred like
sadhu. Means now you are ready to receive that understanding. That's why it will have a great impact on you. Sadhu to you.
I tell you that sentence, during the talk itself, whenever you say the sentence, I cry. I cry almost the 1 hour.
Impact upon you and resonate inside your nature. Means your understanding already there. You have reached that understanding. That's why the first turning, hearing the sutta, can bring about awakening. That's what is possible. And this is real cultivation. Listening attentively, especially when you listen a few times, then it stabilizes and it triggers. That's why your nature inside, there is a lot of joy and you really, really cry.
Yeah. And I keep telling myself, why you cry? Why you
Yeah,
cry?
that tears of joy inside, because the understanding is so profound, and it takes living being a while to understand that, which is very
Yeah,
beautiful. Sadhu.
it's like every sentence that you say now makes a lot of sense
Yeah,
to
make
me.
a lot of sense. Then from there, it links all the Dhamma. Mm. Penetrating that is penetrating the most important understanding within the teaching. In fact, the Mahayana also came out with a lot of beautiful saying to like express that awakening. Last time in the early years, I remember when Xuanhua came, 1986, when he gave the talk, he always used this word, mind is the forerunner of all things, mind is she, but in Mandarin, 一切唯心造. The moment I heard that, my nature responded with joy. That's why my Megade, the Mano, when you understand the creation, because when I meditate, I realize the tranquility of mind, the stillness of mind, and the pure awareness within. Then I see clearly inside there, there was no one inside there. Then the movement from that nature out to create the mundane thinking and mundane aggregate, they were very fast, like a lightning flash. Zulu, come out already, very fast. Then I realized there are two minds. No wonder the Buddha said that one, Mano, is the forerunner of all things. When mind arises, all things arise. That's why everything is created by the mind. 一切有为法 means mind make a day. 唯心造 and 有为法, both also similar meaning and very penetrative. That's why I try to use the English, where there are a lot of English educated ones, which through the explanation now easier to understand and easier for living being to awaken to. So now I realize more and more Kayamita can understand my sharing and teaching. That's why now you realize the Heart Sutra, when I go through, I explain the deeper part of the meaning already, the higher essence, that in the early day, I just summarize it, because I knew at that time most of you are not ready, cannot receive them. But I also knew that these are recorded. That's why it can be useful in years to come. Then the most beautiful part is the causes and conditions arise for it to be transcribed into a book. That's why the causes and conditions manifest at that time. And you all should thank Sister Lee, Silgate, for arising the causes and conditions, for inviting me to teach over there. And she took the initiative to prepare the short notes for me to edit. And then all this form the basis of our Heart Sutra book in later session. That's why I mentioned many times during the Heart Sutra sharing, I say, as far as the Theravada tradition's teaching and understanding, the Heart Sutra book is more than enough. Everything is there. And you can understand all those, you will awaken. The sainthood way is not a problem. Then those going the Bodhisattva way, they can also from there develop the faith and the affirmation to plant the seed of Bodhi to continue from there. So all these are very beautiful. Sadhu to you, PG. Very good. You continue. You continue.
Rachel, your emphasis on the daily mindfulness and
very important.
how necessary it is to have the daily mindfulness, because that itself will open up the path for
True, yes.
The cultivator.
Yeah, without the daily mindfulness stability, you cannot be heedful. You cannot be heedful means you are not heedful in the midst of life and you don't stand a chance. That's why the Dhammapada verse 21, 22 and 23 are very important. So spend time stabilizing the daily mindfulness. Then when you go and sit, very easy, the form of meditation become very easy. You slip into the meditative state, which is your silent mind, without thought, very easily, very fast. Towards the later part of the training, I remember when my daily mindfulness become very stable. The moment I sit, my meditative mind arise. The sankhara are no more. The five aggregates of form and mind, they become like no more power over me. Then the mental hindrance like cannot arise anymore, because that by then the faith is very strong. The saddha, the virya, then the sati is the most important. When sati is stabilized, all these mental hindrance cannot arise. Because they arise due to lack of sati and samadhi. When with sati and samadhi, when you can see things as they are, the wisdom keep on arising. Then when the five spiritual faculties are there, the mental hindrance cease to be there. The wisdom factor is the one that trigger of the understanding. We call it the wisdom at the moment of sense experience, or yoniso manasikara. They manifest from that nature. That's why at the moment of sense experience, spontaneously it arises. Then, with that understanding of the Dhamma, the mind cannot stir, cannot react, cannot move anymore. Thing is just the way it is, finished. Condition like that, things will like that. Whatever arises, there are causes and conditions behind. All this understanding will manifest. Then
yes, Bratio, that is a very, very important step.
Yeah, very important understanding. Without that, the old way of heedless thinking continue. Very keeper one. You want to interpret, then you want to comment, then you want to actually create the unnecessary train of thought. And this is what heedless thinking is all about. Your like and dislike, the habitual tendency, the views, the opinion, all this. That's why the mind cannot calm down, cannot develop the inner peace and tranquility, because it thinks a lot, it chatter a lot, it verbalize a lot, and it create a lot of habitual thinking, habitual reaction to sense experience. And this is the sickness of human being, where they don't have the Dhamma understanding to reverse all this heedless thinking, so that the mind can settle down and become very calm, very peaceful, very tranquil. Then you can realize the true mind, the silent mind. And this is how you should develop the understanding. Then when you have the understanding, the way you cultivate become very different. That's why the awakening, not like last time, people think, oh, you had to practice very long. No such thing. The moment you understand, you awaken. That's it. Then you awaken. That's why in the time of the Buddha, a lot of this, even lay people or monks, they just awaken like that. Yeah. But most of them have their past cultivation and parami. That's why it's able to arise the causes and conditions needed for such awakening. But now the sasana is still around. You have your past, your training, you can awaken too, and it's not difficult. Actually, the sainthood way is pretty easy, but the supreme vehicle one, more extensive. You have to cultivate over a long period of time, but very rewarding. The understanding behind the supreme vehicle or bodhisattva way is so rewarding. It gives you profound understanding of the unconditioned Dhamma and the conditioned Dhamma, so that you know how to live life, you understand life, and every arising or manifestation as a form of mind is so meaningful, so beautiful. Very good, sadhu. Okay, PG, continue. Yeah.
Brother, I feel that when our mind is more silent, we can see the arising of especially the thoughts.
Yeah,
The thought,
very clearly.
yeah,
The
and
movement.
the intention of
Behind.
the mental intention of all the
Yes,
thoughts.
yes. Because the mental intention is part of your content of consciousness. That's why without the Dhamma understanding and the wisdom, the egoic mind is always there. The Sakaya Ditti, not easy to root out. Most people only have Dhamma knowledge. Ayah, non-self lah, not me lah, not real one lah. These are only words and knowledge. But when you really penetrate and awaken, you can see, the egoic mind inside there, not easy to root out, because the I and the me, which has been so strongly ingrained, always manifest one. Every moment of sense experience, they associate with that sense experience. I see, therefore I am. I hear, I smell, I taste, I tactile feel and think. And the atta is so strong. I am unhappy. I am miserable. I am whatever. That I, that ego is very strong. And you respond to the entity very fast. When people call you, straight away. But when you are mindful, aware, and when you develop the understanding and the awakening, you realize all these are conditioned arising phenomena, no reality. Hey no you, hey no me. They come and they go. And they are only required to live life. When you need to live life, you need to use your thought. You need to use your senses. You need to perceive through your whatever sense experience. And that perception, which is part of the aggregate of mind, you see them clearly. Without the Dhamma understanding, the wisdom, the perception will go wrong. It's always egoic. That's why that wrong perception, they keep on manifesting. So what happened to living beings is, they always live in the mundane creation, the external manifestation. That's why all their perception is false perception. They perceive external non-reality. They perceive according to what their memory, their views, their opinion, their conditioning, their knowledge, their belief system tell them. So that type of perception is, like Krishnamurti say, acting according to memory. It's not acting at all. Because that one is knowledge from memory, your conditioning, your belief system. Whereas the direct seeing is from that nature, without words, without concept, without duality. You see things as they are. And what follows that creates the mundane activity and external manifestation is a separate condition arising phenomenon. When you see all this, then you start to understand the unreality of form and mind. Then you start to understand the four circle formation. How living beings get entangled and trapped in the third and fourth circle. Why I use the word, the phenomenal world of consciousness is illusionary, the illusionary world. Then how from there it develops the wrong view, the delusion. That's why I put there luring and enticing. It entices a living being, it lures them into the phenomenal world of consciousness, taking the unreal for the real. where all these are dependent originating, condition arising phenomena, they are not real, not intrinsic within our nature. Then, taking the impermanent that manifests through the universal characteristics as something permanent, enduring, that you want to own, you want to possess, you want to have, then clinging to the form of mind, clinging to the thing you believe you own. So all your so-called wealth, property, even your own loved ones, then all those that you cling on to, hold on to dearly, believing that they are useful, they are close and dear to you. That's why all this bring about sakkayaditti's attachment, clinging, grasping. And this is the cause of suffering, where they go the way of nature. When you cannot get what you want, you suffer. Then whatever arises, they are of the nature to cease. That reality must be seen, just like the advice of the Buddha. He said, alas, impermanent alas are all conditioned Dhamma. When you see that with wisdom, you awaken. Whatever is of the nature to arise is of the nature to cease. And what has been born into this world has already come to pass. So no amount of sorrow and lamentation can bring back the dead. And this is very powerful understanding. Seeing this with understanding will awaken the form of mind, the living being. And it will bring about happiness and joy. And this is what the Dhamma is capable of. That's why you will not cling, you will not grasp, no more delusion. So all this, they will manifest in accordance. So the more we go in, the more you listen, read the last few Dhamma book, you develop very profound understanding. And these are very beautiful sharing. That's why over the last couples of years, the sharing has become very different, much deeper understanding, much more towards the understanding aspect of cultivation. And all these are very profound, very unique, beautiful. That's why the unique code, everything, they came and they fall into place. And over the last few years, the sharing of all this has helped Kayamita develop more stable understanding and clarity of cultivation and practice. That's why many Kayamita progress, and our retreat also. Now onward, even the last few annual retreat that we had, a lot of the participants that arise or join us, they have benefited. And after you go back from the retreat, you continue with the daily mindfulness, the daily religious routine, you will progress and you will transform and awaken and become very different. That's why a lot of our Kayamita, they have very good understanding now. And now more and more quite independent, even on spiritual trip, like the recent one you all go. You all know how to actually develop the understanding yourself, and your heart there, your nature has actually opened up and make you sensitive. And because of that, all this will add on to what you need to understand. And all this other way of Dhamma to awaken and benefit cultivator of the way, then you develop a lot of affinity with the great beings. And all this can be very useful and helpful in time to come as you progress. progress along the path of Dhamma. Very good, PG. You continue.
Brother,
Yes.
firstly, let me express my gratitude to Brother for being my Dhamma teacher and how to say, guiding me along the way, Brother. Brother, I would like to ask Sister Mun Yuen to continue with her sharing.
Can, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mun Yuen, that day you didn't finish,
Brother Teo,
Yes.
Teo and all Kalimitas.
Yeah.
That day actually, I wanted to share that, when we go on spiritual trips and even my own overseas trip, I find this trip, I am more calm because previously there will be a lot of things that will be troubling me, like, why be able to go to the toilet early in the morning? And then if I cannot go, then, what happened if it's midway during touring, then where can I look for a toilet? All these things keep on coming.
The old way of thinking, the concern, the worry, but that one will sooner or later subside.
No more. This time no more.
No more. Sadhu. Very good. It will cease to be. All these are no use on another side. It's the thought that manifests and create the fear and the worry. It's the mental projection. You need to go and answer nature's call. Just be sincere. Say, can we have a toilet break? Then they will take you. And nowadays, China is very much more developed already when we travel. Not like in the olden days, where the toilets are smelly and not many toilets around as you travel. Where last time, rural road, most of the time is rural road, 2 lane. Now it's multiple, 6 lane, 8 lane, 10 lane highway. Very different. Yeah, very true. That part you will experience it, Sadhu.
And then from one worry, then you will jump to another worry.
You will cling on, continue. But these are your old way of thinking, the old way of behaving. That's why all this will be rooted out through wisdom, through understanding. Thing is just the way it is. Whatever arises, there are causes in the near. So you don't have to worry. The time will come. And normally the organizer, they will make sure you have enough time for toilet break. Then they will also take you for your lunch, your dinner, your breakfast and all those things. So there is ample opportunity. You don't have to worry about that. Instead of carrying that, silence your mind and develop the contemplative wisdom, the joy, then recollect to our own memory what happened. When you mindfully contemplate and reflect, a lot of Dhamma will arise. That's why truth is everywhere in the midst of life and nature. Why can't we see? For those who see, they always see. Then when you recollect, the seeing is very vivid, very clear. Where there is no sankhara to cloud your seeing. The contemplation can lead to recollection of what have happened. And that recollection is very vivid, not the hazy type. Because once you have mindfulness, your mind is different. When you recollect, there is clarity. Then the mind is already in the state of awareness, understand? Sati. So when you recollect through sati, the Dhamma will arise. Then it will trigger off. There is where the contemplative wisdom can stabilize and develop a lot of understanding. Very good, Sadhu.
Radio, before that, I don't even see that, it is something that is hindering me.
Correct.
And because of that, then another type of worry will come. And it's like,
I'm
I drink more water?
ending.
If I drink more water, then I need to go to the toilet.
That thought, that inside there, keep on telling you all those stories. That's why that one is heedlessly chattering, verbalizing, and like very kippo inside there. And all these are like of no use. We call it the flawless thinking. Sweet nothing, actually. Actually, it's not even sweet. It makes you miserable. In fact, when you are mindful, all these are suffering. Sankhara anicca, sabbe sankhara anicca, sabbe sankhara dukkha. You see very clearly. Every moment of arising of thought or sankhara activity or movement is actually stressful, suffering. We are compared to the tranquil, still mind, which is so peaceful, so tranquil and so still, no activity at all. That clarity, that stillness is wonderful compared to the heedless, agitated, verbalizing, what they call mundane activity, which actually causes a lot of stress and suffering within the human mind. And all this cultivator will see. That's why you all will go through all this transformation. And this is real progress, real cultivation. When you cannot see all this, means nothing is happening. Your old self, or heedless thinking, worrying, too busy planning, thinking, and worrying about life, that will continue. Because that is the typical heedless thinking mind that cling on to a lot of things, manifest through their thought process, or the fear, worry, and anxiety, unnecessary worry. And when one develops clarity of mind, mindfulness and understanding, all this, slowly, they will cease or fade away. That's why now you can testify for yourself that the last trip, no more. These are the thoughts that used to actually make you worry and concerned, but now no more. Because when you have stabilized the understanding, the cultivation, and your mindfulness develop, you transform. And this is very good sharing, because this is something that cultivator can, especially new Kayamita who has not gone through all this cultivation, it will give them faith. Then when they do it sincerely with the faith, they themselves will develop the understanding, and they themselves will go through all this experience. And this is the real cultivation that normal teacher cannot teach you or explain to you, because they haven't gone through. And for me, it's because it happened to me long ago. It is 1989, means before 1989, I only left, I remember, a few months to actually recollect and recall how my mind was behaving before the actual understanding come, the transformation. That's why I tried to recall. Then I try to use that understanding to share and teach later on. But for me, it's because I have the benefit of my past cultivation. That's why when the time comes for me to receive truth and transform, it happened very fast, very fast. Then before my mundane mind collapse, I already knew that this thing is happening. That's why I only have a few months to see how the mundane mind actually create all this activity and movement. So what you share is very good. I can recall the early days before that thing happened. But unless there is causes and condition, normally I will not talk about it, because even if I share and talk about it, hardly anybody can understand, especially the early years. But nowadays I realize a lot of Kayamita has developed good progress. That's why now they can understand. So wherever they got condition, my nature will share, will explain all this. And my nature really rejoices when I see a lot of Kayamita developing the understanding, the progress. And what you all share is very important. Yeah? It can give rise to good faith to a lot of new Kayamitas who are just treading on the cultivation path. Very good, Mayan. Continue, yeah.
Yeah, right. Actually, I told Song about this, and then Song said, "Hey, this one you have to share." Then I was
Oh,
thinking,
sadhu, yeah. Your nature will tell you, yeah. Because you will know, and like the Buddha said, this is pacetang, can be realized by the wise each for themselves. That's why no need to check on. You know, this is what happened. Because when the Dhamma dawned upon the form and mind, when it has developed the awakening, it is pacetang. This Dhamma can only be realized by the wise, each for themselves. That's why the salutation to the Dhamma very clearly. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo. Then this Dhammo is Sanditiko, Akaliko, Ehipaseko, Opanayiko, Pacetang, Veditabo, Vinohiti. So Ehipasiko is because it is the truth, it will stand up to investigation. That's why you will know. You can investigate into it, and the teaching is so beautiful, everything falls into place. Then your life starts to transform, change for the better. It's like now, even Brother Chan and Waifan, they also know. They say, yeah, but after going the Dhamma way, keeping the precept cultivation, they seem to see clearly how their mind transforms and how their understanding develops the faith and develops the virtue and wholesomeness that leads to better life. So they also share with us the common one, like very lucky. One kapak is there on, I think almost all Kayamita experience those things. Then the weather, when we travel, everything is so conducive, like we are being protected, taken care of. All this understanding was of it. Then they have more joy. Nowadays, they got more things to discuss, mainly on the Dhamma. And also, I think Brother Chan and Waifan told me in person also, he said nowadays, after knowing the Dhamma, even for these last few months, less than a year, I think, they realize our life has been so much better. They seldom have misunderstanding anymore. They seldom that minor quarrel, no more. All this can be resolved through understanding, and there is more wholesomeness in the mind. The gratitude, the respect, the kindness, the sincerity, and the Dhamma understanding, when they start to unfold, it really transforms a person. Then you start to see the selfishness slowly slip away. We become like transformed, and we are very sincere, very loving, very caring. Then we develop more and more virtuous understanding, and we are willing to develop the cultivation together. And through the understanding, the manifestation of all this trigger of a new phase of wonderful existence and life. And all these are possible because of the Dhamma. Very good. Manyan, sadhu. You continue. Yeah.
yeah, right. So I also realized when I didn't have that worry, during that trip, I felt that everything go my way lah. I'm happy. I'm always whatever I'm happy. I don't have any complaints at all.
Correct. It will go your way one. It's like you are very lucky, you are very blessed one. Everything is like very joyful one. Because no more negativity, And that is the most beautiful aspect of our life. And a lot of wholesomeness. And we see with joy, especially when you are with Kayamita, the caring, the very good understanding that manifests a lot of harmony. Then we travel together, we develop the understanding together, and we rejoice together, and we do our this pre-puja, post-puja, then Dhamma sharing. All these are very wholesome activity to keep our cultivation in place, in line. That's why all this will give rise to the 10 meritorious action without you all knowing it. Because every day you develop the faith, the chanting, affinity with Triple Gem. Then you are mindful. Yeah. Then you develop the affinity with Triple Gem. You chant the salutation. Then you listen to Dhamma. You share Dhamma. Then the gift of truth. Then also we pay our respect mindfully. Then we maintain our daily mindfulness. Then we make offering. We keep our precept. Then we silence our mind, develop the heedfulness to meditate while in the bus or in the van or traveling or whatever. Walk mindfully. Every action, every movement in the present moment. Then all this activity, when we share merit, transfer merit, rejoicing, then we provide service to community, help out in the organization, treasury activity. All these are very wholesome. Then when we have our meal, we eat with awareness, mindfulness. Then when we discuss, there is a lot of joy, a lot of sincerity, a lot of faith, a lot of trust. And these are good sharing. And the 10th step of the Avijja Sutta, you already developed a lot of them. First, Dhamma friend is the first step that when you have, you can really create a lot of good things out of it when we travel together. The collective consciousness, the collective cultivation and all those things. Then after that, you get to constantly listen to the true Dhamma or discuss the Dhamma. Then you develop the faith. Then after that, you develop the cultivation through the daily mindfulness, stabilizing it. Then your initial wisdom, born of hearing, contemplation, stabilize. That is the step 4. Yoniso manasikara. And when that one arises, most of the time you do not stir your mind anymore. Means at the moment of sense experience, your mind, if it does not stir, means it's at peace. At peace means more and more moment of silence, tranquility, stillness. And this is what we call the space between thought process. Before you arise another thought, there is space. And this space is your true mind, your pure energy within, your sati, your awareness nature. And that one is very beautiful. Then after that, you realize daily mindfulness become very simple. Well, when there is space, means most of the time your mind doesn't think like before. You are not lost in thought. Means you are aware. And the moment you are aware, as this stabilizes, your awareness become more and more, more and more, more and more. The space between thought extend, become more and more. Then you will develop what we call sati sampajana, mindfulness and clear comprehension of all action, all movement in the present moment. Hardly any thought. Then your mind enters sati. That is the beginning of progress, the really fast progress, the transformation, everything. So by the time you hit that, you already home. Because sati sampajana means you can use that to cultivate the 4 foundation of mindfulness already. But before that, you will also know with your mindfulness, you can see your mental intention very clearly. And a lot of things you cannot do already. That's why step 6 is sense restraint. You already know. You cannot break your precept, which means you are at least a Sotapanna already. Sense restraint means you cannot develop the negativity of speech, action, and all things. Because you can restrain your reaction to sense experience. So sense restraint will keep you within the boundary of wholesomeness. No more negativity. The evil root can hardly arise. And then step 7, you will cultivate what they call the 3 types of right action. Right speech, right action, and right thought. The 3 types of wholesome conduct or right conduct. And this is where you cultivate your Noble Eightfold Path, right view leading to right thought, right speech, right action, and right livelihood, and the 4 right effort. And this one also was stabilized. When you stabilize this, means you are at least a Sakadagami, not only Sotapan. You have gone beyond the Sotapanaship and realized Sakadagamiship. Then after that, step 8 is cultivation of the 4 foundation of mindfulness, which become very easy. By then, step 8 become very easy. Then you will understand the words that is described in the sutta. Then after that, you realize the 7 factor enlightenment, which is step 9, keep on arising. Means you know you are on the right path. You can see it already. Where there are factors of enlightenment that will make you enlightened. Sati is very stable. So, investigation of Dhamma, the 2nd factor of enlightenment, is very stable. Then because of that, it gives you the virya to cultivate your faith. After you investigate, the Dhamma stand out to investigate, the faith develop, arise the virya, 3rd factor of enlightenment. Then with virya, you cultivate, you develop piti, the 4th factor of enlightenment. Then your mind continue to stabilize the mindfulness until it becomes very quiet, very peaceful, and very tranquil. Passaddhi. Passaddhi is actually your silent mind, your tranquility of mind, your stillness of mind. Yeah. So this tranquility of mind is your true mind actually. Once you develop this 5th factor enlightenment, it will trigger off understanding and enlightenment very fast. Then when you stabilize this passaddhi, it becomes samadhi. Means that mind, which is your true mind, becomes collected and unwavering. Means it does not stir at the moment of sense experience. Then it can see things as they are. It can insight into phenomena and awaken. And that's how you transform and develop the awakening. Then when the wisdom arises, the awakening arises, it supports samadhi and make it, they call it equanimity. Upekkha. The mind develops the last factor of enlightenment, which is upekkha, supported by wisdom. Means this so-called equanimous mind that does not stir and react, supported by wisdom, is called upekkha. So the upekkha, supported by wisdom, is a free mind, born of wisdom. Not the one is in jhana or conditioned state. That type of upekkha is not the enlightenment factor. That one actually suppresses the hindrance. That's why it's different. So all this will bring forth the step 10, which is a natural consequence of enlightenment in the here and now, realizing at least anagami or arahantaship. And that's how the 10th step of Avijja Sutta can bring about enlightenment in the here and now. And these are all very clearly stated in the teaching. That's why people don't see it, don't understand it, and they don't know how to develop it. The teaching is very clear. supported everywhere, no contradiction, nothing. Very good, Manyan. 4 more minutes. You try to summarize.
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, very exciting to hear what Brother Teo just said. And I just want to share, the other day when Brother Teo shared something in Clang, the talk, right? I haven't finished listening, but it was, I was very happy and excited to hear that, that daily mindfulness is the one that brings enlightenment. Yeah. It's like very good news for me.
Sadhu.
Okay, so going back to the toilet that I was saying that. So the other thing that I find funny that when there wasn't any worry anymore, is everything fall into place. Whenever I want to go, there is a toilet, especially the big one. It never happens in the hotel. It's always in the hotel room.
It will be available.
So that means like in the end there's nothing to worry about or something.
No need to worry. No need to fear. It will just manifest.
When you don't think about it, when you don't
when you don't have worry, anxiety, the mind very beautiful. You work out very beautifully.
not only the mind, the thing that you worry about would not happen.
Will not happen.
Correct.
Regarding that, I got one very good thing to share, because it's only, I think it happened a few months back. I was with my family in this, what we call, the mall, one of the mall, I think, one Uttama, I remember. So we were there actually. Then we had our breakfast at home. Then when we were there, we had our also so-called coffee, and maybe got something to eat. Then because I drank coffee, and coffee very effective one, straight away you want to go and do the big one. But for me, I was actually okay, Then there was an exhibition there, I remember. So Sui, Ben, and my wife, they all together, we were walking around. And the exhibition also sell coffee. So we were trying. Then suddenly, I came out. There was one way. Actually, there was a toilet nearby, without me knowing it. Then I saw the toilet. Then I said, maybe I should go just in case. So I just mindfully went in. And you know what happened? Inside there, all the toilet closed up for the big job all taken up. And there was one guy standing in the middle there, like any of the three, means left side and right side, any of the two toilet, once people come out, he will take one. Then I happened to be there. Then I saw the urinary also full. So I also, okay lah, never mind. Then I wait at the first one. And you know what happened? Of all the 6 toilet closed door, my one opened up. Then I said, like that. So I said, maybe it's meant for me. I went in. Then I went in because of the coffee. It stimulated the system. Then I have to do the big one. Then I felt relief. After that, I came out. I said, this is really meant to be. If the toilet not there, I wouldn't look for it also. It just so happened the toilet, they go inside full. The area, exhibition, a lot of people. That's why I said you don't have to worry. Whatever will be, will be. And you will not run into trouble because your nature will take care of everything. So don't go and arise any of this worry or what. The Dhamma is such that nature will take care of you. So have faith. Very good, Manyan. Okay. Anything else?
I got one slight one, but
a few more minutes, no problem.
When I came back to Malaysia already, I think last week, I cannot remember which day, at night, I think after 12 already, everyone sleep already. I got up, I went to the toilet, and then when I came back, I felt that because it was windy, I think it was raining also and was very cool. I heard some like background music or something like that, something like that. And it sounded very, very familiar to me, you know. I know it's very familiar, but I couldn't pinpoint where I have heard it before. And then after that, I saw images of the temple that we visited, the New Seoul, the one with
Rosen.
not Rosen, the one that looked like a durian.
Okay.
Yeah. So inside there was a lying down Buddha. Yeah. That image came up in my mind, you know.
Wow,
I don't know
sadhu.
whether it's my mundane mind, but anyway, when it came out, I suddenly realized that the music the sound that I'm hearing is a background sound that came from there when we were visiting there.
Oh, sadhu.
Yeah. And then I don't know about you. This one may be my mundane mind, or like you say.
No, don't worry. You just describe. I can advise you.
Then there was a chanting, but it must be from my mind also lah.
No, don't worry. You describe. What else?
It also sound very familiar. And I was thinking, what kind of chanting is that? I couldn't pinpoint. But later on, maybe after that in the day, I suddenly remember, it's Chundi chanting. But I didn't hear Chundi Pusat chanting there in China. But I did hear the background. It sounds like music, but not music also. But
Your nature will know actually. Then it is the sign of affinity. Otherwise, it cannot manifest. That's why when you are on the spiritual cultivation, on the right path and the right training, all these are the signs that will show you, manifest, and let you develop the understanding and the faith. Because it doesn't happen by chance. There are causes and conditions behind. Always remember, whatever arises, like the Buddha said, there are causes and conditions behind. And these causes and conditions are related to our past cultivation, past activity, past affinity, and all those things. So don't worry, meant to be. Later on, it will stabilize. Then, like Alicia's case, the chanting for no apparent reason, it will manifest when you need it. When your nature need to transform, it will just come. Because their nature is ever radiating for the cultivator of the way. And when it comes, you will know, you will understand. Then you will have a lot of gratitude. And you will express your thanks, your gratitude, and your faith in them. Then you continue to request their guidance, protection, and blessings. Then you will share all these merits with all beings. Then you will make affirmation for causes and conditions to continue with the cultivation and continue to fulfill your whatever vows and other things. So these are very wholesome. When you're on sadhu day. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. Sadhu. Let us rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let us rejoice with all the good sharing by PG and also Mun Yuen. Okay, now you do the closing puja. Sharing of merit, transfer of merits, then we end. Akasata Cheo Pumata Deva Naga Mahindika Punyang Tang Anumoditwa Chirang Rakantu Loka Sasana Ittawata Chamehi Sampadan Punya Sampadan Sabbe Deva Anumodantu Sabba Sampati Siddhya Idang Me Nyatina Hotu Sukita Hontu Nyatayo Idang Me Nyatina Hotu Sukita Hontu Nyatayo Idang Me Nyatina Hotu Sukita Hontu Nyatayo Devo Vasadukalena Sasa Sampati Hetucha Pito bhavatu lokocha raja bhavatu dhammiko imina punyang kamina mame bala samagamo sattang samagamo hotu yawa nivana patiya sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, you all can now pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha, Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Then we end. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.